Hello, hello! I wanted to show all of you a fun way to wrap bottles for Christmas like little gnomes. I just want to say that I see all these beautiful gnomes, but I have this thing about using food in projects. Years ago, somebody made me something with beans, and I happened to store it away in Christmas in a box, and the mice got to it. It ruined the whole item. There was beans everywhere, and I just decided that it was a gassy situation with the little mice, and I just don't like to use food. So I was thinking, oh my gosh, what would be a really cute way to make the gnomes, but still be able to give them as a gift? And I thought, oh my goodness, let's do it on bottles where you can present this, okay, and we can make gnomes, and they can drink the wine, and they can put it all back together, and they can save it, they can store it, and it's all finished just like this. I did get this gnome from Marshall's, and I absolutely love, love, love him. And hello, we can make our own gnomes with Dollar Tree supplies. So let's get started on what you need. Okay, so this is what we're going to need for this project. I'm going to use a wine bottle. But remember, there are all different types of bottles, including plastic bottles. So this one would be really cute too because of the pointed spout right here. I don't know, is that what you call it, a spout? Top of the bottle? Top of the morning to you? I don't know, but they have all different shapes. So this would also, and at Dollar Tree they sell those slender like soda bottles and stuff. So you can make your gnomes that way. So like I said in the beginning, the reason I don't like the gnomes with the rice and things like that is because you just don't know if the mice are going to get in there, and I store everything in my garage. And let's face it, for $2 you have a really, really cute way to wrap up your bottles. So like I said, you can use something like this. And what you can do is you're going to get different sacks. Now, they've been going through stuff like crazy at Dollar Tree, so it's kind of hard to pick out what you exactly want. And they didn't have the soft ones like these left. There weren't too many. But these are the actual toe sacks. And what I was thinking is, if you weren't lucky enough to get the little elf ear legs, then you can leave your bottle plain. But if you have these, and we're going to put these on the bottom, but if you want your elf to have little arms, all we have to do is cut this right here, and we're just going to hot glue it, turn it inside out, and we're going to have like two little hands on each side so you can get these little toe. Then these are the socks I chose, of course, for the top portion, and you can do them with white socks or whatever you want. And this is what I chose for the bottom portion. So I already cut my sock here because I wanted to make sure that everything was going to fit right for this video. And I chose these because these do stretch a little wider, so this would even fit on this bottle. Okay, so I just wanted to show you that everything does fit because it stretches a little more. So if you get the other bottles, you just have to make sure you get the right size for the right sock. Okay, so this of course would be the back side, and this would be the front side. And then I already have this cut too, because I wanted to make, I always try to prepare myself for my videos. So this is going to be what we turn inside out and glue. And then this is going to be the portion that we're going to take and pull over. And we're just going to tuck it under here. Okay, so we're going to tuck this over. And then we're going to, of course, add our little beard and our little nose. And there you have it. So you would have a little gnome no matter what kind of bottle you use. And then they just pull the sock off the top and the bottom, and there's their beverage or whatever it is you're giving. So we're going to do it in the wine bottle right now. And remember, they have like grape juice, they have apple cider in the champagne bottles, you know, with the cork on it. So there's different things you can use. It doesn't have to be an alcohol beverage. Just remember that, okay? So this is how it would be on a bottle like this, and that's why I chose the larger socks, okay? And then this is what I purchased for my beard. Now, I knew I was going to do the bottles, so of course I only picked the slender one, but they do sell these in larger widths. And since the holidays are coming to a close, you might be able to find some of this stuff on clearance at like 60 or 70% off. So I would say pick it up, and this is a nice big roll. How many feet are here? 9 feet. So this could make a lot of different bottles. So since I already have everything cut, I just want to show you where I made the cut. So here is the sock, and here is the heel of the sock. So if I held it up here, you can see I cut it just below the heel, okay, so that I had a nice straight cut on my bottle. And the first thing we're going to do is we're just going to take our sock and we're going to put this bottle over it. Now, If you don't want your sock falling, then of course you can use like a double-faced tape around here, but it stays up pretty good, and I actually like the way it looks, so I don't have to do anything to that. And of course I have my glue gun all ready to go, and all I'm going to do is I'm going to flip this inside out. And I'm going to, now some of you may want to cut this back like into a V so that you get a point. It just depends on what you want to do, but I'm just going to take and I'm going to add a little glue there, and I'm going to get this bunched up like this as I go, so that I have a little peak there, okay? So that it's pointed when I get done. So it'll be like that, okay? So I'm just going to start gluing this. And I want to glue it so that it's turned inside out, so when I flip it right side, it's the way it's supposed to be. Okay, does that make any sense? Okay, so we're just going to start adding glue and gathering, adding glue and gathering. Okay. All right. And gnomes are so popular. They're not just for Christmas. They are, I have them all over my yard. You notice at the summertime, they start coming out and they have the little barrels with the flowers and all of the things like that. And I'm like, I know how to sew. I have a sewing machine. I'm actually going to reopen my Etsy shop because I make cute little clutch purses. I don't know. I have one right here. It's actually in this little wrapper. And I make little purses like this. So I do know how to sew. This is all hand sewn. I make different characters and I do different bags, and it's a cute little clutch. So I do stuff like this. So I do know how to use a sewing machine, but I like for you guys to be able to do just about anything. I don't like to limit you guys and say, well, this is just for people that sew, because everybody can get some glue guns and some glue and things like that. So we're just going to glue this. So you see I kind of have a little peak there, okay? And I'm going to squeeze it, squeeze it, squeeze it. I'm going to make sure that it's nice and dry before I flip it inside out. And then all we have to do is add our beard. Oh, and then for the beard, not the beard, but for the nose, I picked up Dollar Tree nylons. They sell the nylon there. And all I'm going to do is I'm going to just, let's see, I have a heel right here. But I don't like that toe thing right there. So I am actually going to cut another piece off. And I'm going to show you what I'm going to do. So this is just a regular pair of pantyhose. I just wanted the nose to match similar to the skin, like on this one here that I showed you guys when we started. And then, of course, I have the poly filler. But you guys can think of other things. If you don't have the time to run for the poly filler, you can actually take that nylon and stuff it with cotton balls. So there's ways around things in case you don't have time to do that. Okay, so now let's flip this inside out so that we have a nice little point there. Okay, so that's all we did, is to get that done. And we're going to put this over this. Okay, so these are tight at the top, so you don't really have to worry about taping or gluing anything down. This sock has a nice, you know, top part, elastic part here. So it's all, you don't have to worry about nothing. You just do it this way. And the same thing with the beard. You don't even have to glue it onto the sock if you don't want to, but you may want to do it that way, so when the person takes it off, if they want to use it for a gift themselves for something else, then they most certainly can do it. Okay, so there we have it. We have the top part done, and we have, I mean, basically, how quick was that to wrap that? Then all we have to do is decide how long we want our beard, okay? So I'm going to hold this up to here, and if I want a nice long beard, I can go about down to there. So I'm just going to cut this. So each bottle is going to be different. You just decide how long you want your beard to be, okay? And when you cut your beard, just remember, okay, so here's the large gnome. They go like into a V this way, okay? So we would take and we would just cut here and here. So this is the top part and this is the bottom part of our beard. So we would just trim it here, okay? Trim there and trim there. So the longer you cut it, the longer your beard is going to be, okay? So there's our little beard, okay? I actually have it a little crooked. I should make it a little, it's not even. And the back side is the best way to cut it so that you know that you're even, okay? And then all we have to do is lift up our sock and put it under there, okay? So just, I didn't even do anything. I didn't even glue anything. All I did was stick it under there. And now we're going to do our nose. And look at how fast that is to do this. I mean, it's so fast to make a cute gnome that you can give to somebody for the holidays. And if they choose to keep it in there, then they choose to keep it in there. And if they choose to take it off, they can drink their wine and put it back together. And they have their gnome, and they don't have to worry about little critters or anything getting in there. And okay, so this is the stocking that I cut. We're going to put this in here for our nose. Okay, so I got to make this wide enough. And nylon stretches, so you don't have to worry. So you would come around the back side, and you're just going to start doing this into a button nose, okay? So we're just going to make our cute button nose like this. And we're going to glue it when we have it the way we want it so that we can put it right on our gnome, okay? Well, whoa, is that a big nose, isn't it? Let's take some of this out of here. That is too big of a nose, okay? Let's see what we got now. Okay, so what I think I'm going to do is, I made my nose a little bit smaller, and since I made it a little bit smaller and I have more room to play with, I'm going to take the two of these, my two ends from my nylons, and I'm going to tie these. So again, you can see, depending on what you're working on, you can decide if you want to make a big nose or a small nose or whatever you want, and this is the best way to do that with the nylon, because it looks like, you know, a natural nose, like the skin tone color. So you can make your gnome whatever color you want. Okay, so let me just try and get this a little bit more, tie this so that it's like more of a little circle. Okay. Okay, now this I am going to glue to my beard. Okay, so there's my nose, and I'm just going to take and I'm going to glue that to my nose, right? My stocking right there. And it's going to be more to the beard, so when they take off the top part, this is still glued to the bottom portion, and they don't have to, they can just stick the beard back on. And if you want to glue that on, that's entirely up to you, okay? So we're just going to glue this on here, but make sure, do you see my little thing right here? You got to make sure that's tucked under so that you don't see it, okay? So if you make that mistake, oops, now I got it crooked. I'm working backwards so I can show you guys, and I need it in front of my face in order to get it right. So I'll show you in 1 second here, okay? Okay. So there we go, okay? So there is my gnome, and I still want to glue this down, and all I'm gluing it to is my beard. Okay, I'm not really gluing it to the sock. Now, it's entirely up to you if you want to glue it to the sock so it's nice and secure. It's no different, you know, however you want to do it. I always tell everybody, my way is not written in stone. You do what you want to do for you. Okay, so we're just going to brush up our hair. And this stuff is so soft. See, all I'm doing is taking my fingernails, and I'm just kind of brushing out his beard. Okay. And then if you wanted to, doesn't have to be a boy, doesn't have to be a girl, you can just take something like this, and you can add either this like right here, so we can take this off and we can snip this. Okay. We can add this to the top here, okay, just to give it some decor. And I think with this one, you're going to have to take out at least this part right here and cut this so that it's nice and flat to the top portion of the sock, because you can kind of see it sticking out. So if we want to do that, like right here, and I think that looks really, really cute. So we're going to take it and we're going to put it right between our two socks right there. We're going to press down. Okay, I'll show you in 1 second. Okay, so there's our little gnome with the little flower up there. Okay, so nothing's written in stone. Whenever you're doing any kind of crafting, you can change things to do it yourself. But I always like to find unique ways to give gifts, you know, wrapped gifts, because you don't have to do it like everybody else, okay? And here we go. We're almost finished. So if you wanted to give it just like this, you could, because you can clearly see that's a little gnome. But I showed you earlier that I had the little feet because I found these at Dollar Tree. Now what I can do is I can take and I can just glue this right to the bottom. And there's his little legs. How cute is that? So that's what I'm going to do. I'm going to cut this off. The only thing I'm cutting off is the ribbon to hang it, okay? And I'm going to take the base of this and I'm going to hot glue this here so that he's actually sitting on top of the legs, okay? So I'm using quite a bit of the leg here. and I'm just going to sit him right on top of that, okay? So see how he's sitting? Just like that, okay? And you want to make sure, like I just pulled it up because I want it to be more level so that it can sit on its own, okay? So he can sit on his own just the way he is right now, okay? And I'm going to add just a little bit more hot glue so that he is sitting like this. So no matter how I hand him to anybody, he's sitting like this, okay? So I'm just going to put this here, that there, and we're going to hold it down. Okay, so now that our gnome has legs, this is where this would come in, and we can use the toe socks to make him little arms. And this way, we can put the arms right on the side, and now he's all finished. Okay, so this is just another great way for you to wrap a gift, and you can stick him on a ledge like this, and he sits up, you know, he sits better on a ledge because the legs are hanging out. So if you feel like it's uneven, all you have to do is put something here, and you could take a little piece of this, even like from the extra beard, and you can glue it down here, so like he's got a little furry butt, just to even out the fact that we have the legs on there. So again, this is all stuff that you can do after the fact. You don't have to do it, and this is going to make him sit upright because now he's got some leverage. So you just want to make sure, okay, look how cute he is. All right, so this is just a really cute way, and you don't have to use gray. You can use bright colors. You can use red socks, and I love these thick socks that they sell at Dollar Tree because you can do so much with them. So here it's still like it needs a little bit more because the elf legs are a little bit thicker than, so that's too much. So you're trying to find the right consistency between the legs and you putting this like this so that it doesn't fall over, okay? Does that make sense? So you're just trying to make sure. Now that works good. So this piece here that was extra from my beard, I'm just going to glue this down so that it sits upright. That's all I'm trying to do. So if you don't add the little legs and you just give a gift like that, then you don't have to worry. But if you have the little legs, then you can do it this way. And then all you have to do is adjust your beard. And then they can just take it off and they can drink their liquor or whatever. And then you want to kind of pull this so that the beard doesn't look so defined there where you cut it. And you just want to, like, you know, spruce it up like it would be for a gnome. Okay? And then it's just tucked under here. So all you have to do is lift up on your sock to get it in there right, because we didn't have to do anything there. Remember, we just kind of put it on there and it worked. So now we have the little legs on there, and let's give our little gnome some arms, and we're all done. Now you don't have to do all this. I just wanted to give you guys the different options. If you did have the way to with the elf legs, okay? So again, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this, and I don't need my arms really, really long. I'm going to go about right, let's see. If I go right there, they're still kind of long. So you kind of got to estimate, and what we're going to do is we're not going to glue this on either. We're just going to stick the arms underneath there, or how cute is it? It looks like it just has, it looks like it has, I'm going to cut right here. It looks like it has a little scarf on. So let's cut this. You need different scissors, like for all these projects. Okay. All right. So you need two. So even though I have like a third little finger here, all I'm going to do is I'm going to cut this third one off here because I don't need it. Okay. And then I'm going to flip it inside out, and I'm going to hot glue it so that I can stuff my little arm. And again, if you don't have the poly filler, all you have to do, so we're going to flip this inside out. Okay, and we're going to glue this inside out so that we have a little arm. Okay, so you know what I mean? Like, you got to flip things inside out so that it has a finished edge to it. Okay, and then you're just going to press down. And then we're going to fill it, and we're just going to tuck it under there so that it has a little arm. Okay? So we're going to wait for that to dry. We're going to do this side, and we're going to flip this one inside out too. So when we re-flip it, we don't have to do the two fingers if we don't want to. We can just do one finger. It just depends on what you want to do, what your gnome looks like. You know, does he have 4 little fingers or 3 little fingers and a thumb? It's entirely up to you. Okay, so hold it down. And again, I always say, if you're going to work with kids, please be careful with the hot glue gun. There's nothing worse than somebody getting hurt on Christmas when you're supposed to be having fun. Okay, so now that it's dry, okay, we're pressing it, pressing it, pressing it. We are going to flip it inside out. So we want to come from the finger. And I don't know, let's see. I think I'm only going to use 1 finger. So I'm only going to turn 1 finger inside out. We'll see how he looks. If I need to do both fingers, then I will. But I used the finger that was closest to the finished edge. Okay. And we're going to pull this up. I'm so happy that I got the little elf legs. I think they're so doggone cute. Okay. So there's our little finger. It just came out. All right. And it looks like a little pointer finger. So if I want, okay, so look at his little hand. It looks like a little mitten. How did that work out? Didn't that work out great? And you know what? I really, really, really don't even have to fill this. Because of this sock, it's kind of thick, and I don't even think I have to fill it. So now I just want to get this finished edge done here. Whoop. I just want to finish this edge here. Okay. Just want to finish it like this, and it looks like a little mitten. How cute is that, guys? Okay, so let's do this one. Same thing. This is the edge I glued. This is the finger. That's our little mitten for our hand, and we're just pulling it through. Okay, so you might want to just take a regular pair of furry socks and do this too, the kind that Dollar Tree sells. Okay, so this one's all done too. We have 2 little hands. Okay, so now and they look like little mittens. Okay, they're perfect. And now all we have to do, see, that one's upside down, so it's, you know, the way they're cut. So now all we have to do is take and put our little hands right on there. Okay. And there you have it. There's our little Christmas gnome bottles. Okay, so, I mean, they're so popular. This is just a fun way to bring a little gnome to the holiday party that they can either keep, they can drink the wine and put the little gnome back on there, and they don't have to worry about storing it, and they can put it on their shelf. Just make sure you remember, if you put the little legs on there, that you need to make sure it's nice and level. All you have to do is glue something to the bottom so that it's even with the legs. Okay, and if he sits on a shelf, he's going to be just fine. But there you have it, a fun way to wrap a bottle this holiday season and for many years to come. Thank you so much for watching. Merry Christmas, and I can't wait till the new year with all the fun things we're going to do together. Bye now.